Hello, lovely fourth graders. Welcome to our next grammar lesson. This one is on shades of meaning. And you might be thinking, shades of meaning? What does that even mean? Well, some words have very similar meanings, such as synonyms. The words are often really similar, but sometimes one is stronger than the other. So that's what we mean by shades of meaning. Like you could have blue, but you could have different shades of blue from light all the way to dark. So if you think of that when you think of words that have a similar meaning, some of them just might not be as strong as others. They might kind of be a lighter version of another. So let's look at some examples that might make that clear. For example, good, great, and amazing all kind of mean the same thing. They're all really positive words to describe something, right? Something's good or great or amazing. It's a positive way of describing something. So they kind of mean the same thing, except that amazing is kind of a stronger word than good. Good is kind of okay. Great is a little bit stronger than good, and amazing is stronger than great. Can you see how we've got this progression from good to great to amazing? So the words kind of mean the same thing, but there's shades of meaning from weak, good, from kind of a light meaning or a weaker meaning like good, gets a little bit stronger with great, and then it's the strongest meaning with amazing. Okay, let's look at another one. Here we've got some words that all mean the same thing. Freezing, chilly, and cold. They all mean that it's not very warm. Okay, so they all mean the same thing. But they're kind of, one of those words is a little weaker than the others, and then one is kind of stronger than the others. So let's see if we can put them in order from weak to strong. What do you think would come first? Which do you think is kind of the weakest one out of freezing, chilly, and cold? Yeah, chilly. We might say, oh, it's a little bit chilly today. Like, ooh. And then we might say, actually, it's cold today. Today is a cold day. And then we might say, it's freezing today. And all of those words mean it's not warm. But chilly is not quite as strong as freezing. Okay, so that's, we see a shades of meaning from chilly up to cold, up to freezing. Here's three more. Pretty, gorgeous, and beautiful. Well, all three of those words mean something looks good. We could be talking about the sunset. We could say the sunset is pretty. The sunset is gorgeous. The sunset is beautiful. Which word is the weakest? Which one would be stronger? And then which word would be the strongest to describe that sunset and how good it looks? Well, pretty means, oh yeah, it's pretty good. It looks pretty good. If we were looking for the next strongest word, maybe we would say that sunset is beautiful. What a beautiful sunset. But gorgeous? Wow, that sunset is gorgeous. I haven't seen a sunset like that for a long time. It's just stunningly gorgeous. So pretty and gorgeous both mean looks good, but gorgeous is a stronger word. It's kind of, so that's what we mean by shades of meaning. Let's look at another one. Giant, large, and big. All of those words mean that something is not small. Now have a think and think about what order you would put them in from the weakest word up to the strongest. Maybe you thought big would be the weakest word, and maybe large, and then giant. Me too. Okay, so although the words are really similar in meaning, in each of those examples there were three words that kind of meant the same thing, sometimes we can decide which word to use by using context clues. And context clues means, what is the sentence around that word? What are the other words around it? What's the context for that word? So which word would be the best one to use? Which one would make the most sense in a sentence? So we're going to practice this skill too. We're going to find the best word to fill in the blank. Connor was blank when he finally got on the team after trying out for 2 years. Do you think it was Connor was glad when he finally got on the team after trying out for 2 years? Or Connor was thrilled when he finally got on the team after trying out for 2 years? Both of those words kind of mean the same thing, that he was happy. But thinking about the rest of the sentence, which word would fit best? I'm thinking finally got on the team. Be trying out for 2 years. Would he just be glad or would he be thrilled? I think he would be thrilled because he'd been trying for 2 years. It took him a really long time. So I think when he finally got on the team, he would be thrilled. Yeah, because it's a stronger word than glad. Okay. Maddie was something when she dropped her sandwich on the floor. Maddie was A, upset when she dropped her sandwich on the floor, or B, miserable when she dropped her sandwich on the floor. Both of those words mean not happy. Now, when you drop your sandwich on the floor, do you think you'd be upset or miserable? Dropping your sandwich on the floor. Miserable kind of means like you are super upset for a long time and it's kind of a whole mood. You're just, there's misery. It's kind of a really strong word. Well, I don't know if I dropped my sandwich on the floor, if it would really, I would be seriously miserable about it for a long time. I might just be like, now I don't get to eat my sandwich. So I think I would just be upset when I drop my sandwich on the floor, because miserable seems like too strong of a feeling for just dropping my sandwich on the floor, if it was me. The best word to fill in the blank. The toddler, so that's a little child, just a bit more than a baby, someone who's just walking around. The toddler is screaming because he is something of monsters. A, terrified of monsters, or B, scared of monsters. Both of those words mean afraid, but one of those words is stronger than the other. And if we look at the words in the whole sentence, I see that the toddler is screaming. That's kind of a strong word too. Like if it was the toddler was crying or whimpering, I might think, oh, well, maybe he's just a little bit scared. Because scared is a weaker word than terrified. But because I see the toddler is screaming, I know that this toddler is feeling really strongly. So I think it is terrified. Because terrified is a stronger word than scared. The toddler is screaming because he is terrified of monsters. He is really afraid of monsters. So that's a stronger word to use. Okay, it is finally something enough that I do not need to bring a jacket to school. It is finally A, hot enough, or B, warm enough. So both of those mean the same thing, that it's not cold anymore, so I don't need to bring a jacket to school. It's finally hot enough that I don't need to bring a jacket to school. It's finally warm enough. What do the words in the sentence tell you? Is this kind of a strong sentence or not so strong? I think with this one, I could say it's finally warm enough. I don't think we need a super strong word for this. I think warm is fine. It's finally warm enough that I do not need to bring a jacket to school. I think that would be fine and fit that sentence really well. And you might be thinking, why does it even matter? Why do we need to choose between two different words? Why would a writer, that's you, why would you, when you're writing, want to use words with different shades of meaning? Why couldn't you just use happy all the time? Why would you want to use different words like ecstatic, excited, overjoyed? Why would you want to use some different words? Why couldn't you just use happy or sad instead of miserable, upset, grieving? Why do we want to use words with different shades of meaning? You as a writer, think about as a writer, why would you want to use some different words? Often it makes your writing more interesting and it makes your writing more precise. That means more exact. You're giving your reader a more exact picture of what's happening if you use words with different shades of meaning. I used to teach kindergartners, and kindergartners write a lot with simple words like happy, sad, good. It's really cute writing and it's great writing in kindergarten. But you are fourth graders, and fourth graders can use those words, absolutely. But you can also now think, what other words can I use instead that makes my writing more interesting and more precise, more exact? That represents exactly what I want to say to create a mood or a feeling and a setting and a proper description that really shows the reader what I mean. So words that have different shades of meaning is actually a really good way to improve our writing, is to reread what we've done and think, is there another word I could use instead of beautiful? Is there a stronger word or a weaker word that would express my meaning better? So as writers, you can be looking for this. And you know what? As readers and what you read, look and pay attention to the words that authors use that give you a really accurate picture of how characters are feeling or the setting and place around them, and think, what shades of meaning am I getting from the precise words that the authors are using? There's a challenge for you. Okay, for right now, your challenge is to go to the Google form on shades of meaning, and you have some questions here to answer. You are going to select the best word to fill in the blank, just like we did together in this video. I haven't eaten all day, so I am, and there's an exclamation mark. So what does that tell you? A, hungry, or B, starving? Which word is weaker? Which word is stronger? And which one would fit best in the sentence? And you're going to select the right word that you think fits, okay? I something going to the movie theatre, but I prefer watching TV. I like going to the movie theatre, but I prefer watching TV. I love going to the movie theatre, but I prefer watching TV. What do you think would fit best? Which word, which shade of meaning, like or love? And I want you to go through these questions and do the same thing. Read the sentence and figure which word would go in the blank. Now, each of the words kind of mean the same thing, but one is a weaker word, one is a stronger, and you get to choose which is the best fit. All right, my friends, off you go.